Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. If you have been paying attention at all over the last, wherever you find yourself, right? Might be a year, might be 6 months, it might be 40 years, right? To this quite extraordinary story. Wherever you find yourself and however long you've known, right? If you've been paying attention at all, you know that the opinions of who Maitreya are vary greatly, right? To one side, you have people like myself and people like Benjamin Creme and thousands of others who are totally convinced that he is the one awaited by all the world's religions, right? Then you have, you kind of go a little bit to the left of that spectrum, right? And then, of course, you have people who, kind of like the idea, kind of not, it is what it is. Maybe believe it, maybe not, they just kind of take it for what it is. Then you kind of keep going and you got people that maybe are a little more like, that person sounds a little nuts. Like I'm sure that a lot of people who listen to my videos think that I'm totally crazy, right? And then you have people that, are quite scared of the fact that that Maitreya might be different than what they think, right? And then you have people who are extremely against what Maitreya stands for. People who think that he is the Antichrist themselves, right? They're totally convinced that he's the Antichrist. And I can speak till the cows come home, and I would never be able to convince them otherwise, right? Just as I have to say, in all fairness to those same people, they could keep talking till they're blue in the face and until the cows come home for them, and I'm not going to believe, that Maitreya is the Antichrist. So I get it. Now, within these various opinions of Maitreya and then the billions of other people who have never even heard of who Maitreya is, somewhere out there is, Maitreya whispering to their hearts. It's starting out as a whisper. He's speaking the truth to people's hearts on TV, not trying to draw attention to himself, right? Just ever so slightly saying what it is that needs to be said to awaken in their hearts to the truth that we're all one. And I remember hearing Benjamin Creme for years use that phrase. He's here to awaken us, to galvanize us to action and so forth, right? And I always thought I knew what that meant. But up until recently, I didn't really know what that meant. That Maitreya is not speaking anything new. The truth that he speaks, that he always speaks about oneness, about unity, about sharing, about justice, about helping save our environment, SOP, save our planet, He's speaking what's already in all of our hearts. And it doesn't matter whether you believe him now like I do, or you're not kind of unsure, to you're kind of scared about it, to you're totally against it. That truth is within your hearts. It is. Now, you might not see it. It might not even be aware of it. But that's why he's here. He's here whispering to all of us to awaken that within us, to call us to action. And some of the people who are totally against him now will be some of his strongest supporters in the future, probably. Some maybe not, right? But it's just the nature of the business, right? But it's all starting with a whisper. He's whispering his message, just SOP, save our planet, share the resources, save the ones who are starving to death, right? There's no need for it, right? Save our environment, create justice in the world, right? Create peace. It's about humanity. It's about oneness, right? He's just letting us know reminding us what's already there, latent in our heart. Be creative. That same creativity that's sparked the whole of cosmos. There's a little bit of that in all of our hearts. He's going to awaken that too, and we'll all be more creative because of it, right? but he's not saying anything unique. He hasn't invented it. This isn't his invention. That's why it always amazes me when people take to the opinion that he is nothing but evil, when he's not trying to draw attention to himself at all. It's just a truth. We should share the world's resources, even if you don't believe in who Maitreya is. Don't you think it's a good idea to, rather than having the food rot, just to ship it over to another country and let them, feed their, people with it? Why wouldn't that be, right? Why wouldn't we try to create justice in the world so everyone can have food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and education? Is that really evil? Why would you think that? That's what Jesus was saying. So even if, like my mom always said when she'd always make spaghetti with like mushrooms, right? And I can't stand mushrooms. And she'd make it anyway every single time because she liked mushrooms, right? And she was the one that was making it, so she wanted the mushrooms in there. And when I would complain, the way she told me was, just pick around the mushrooms, just push them to the side, right? Well, think of, a difference in belief of who Maitreya is just the mushrooms in a spaghetti sauce, right? Just be that detached, just push it to the side. I was wondering why people can't do that, right? And just eat on and chew on what's important, really. And that's what Maitreya always says. What's important is the truth of the fact that we're all one, that we need to save our planet, and that we can't have half the world living in poverty and a lot of us living, so far under the poverty line we're starving to death, while other people are quite wealthy. It's not just, right? And if we don't change our ways, it's going to be really bad for all of us, even the rich. So we need to help. We need to share the world's resources so we create justice, so we create peace, so we can have a future. But again, he's on TV, not claiming to be who he is. He's just on TV as one of us. But it's all starting with a whisper, just a gentle, very, very gentle phrase. We're all one. And then he probably talks about a bunch of other stuff, and we're all one. And he's going to keep saying it until he awakens within the hearts of all of us that truth. And as always, take action. Help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos. Have a great day.